Hello everyone, this is the program Capital Ideas Life and I'm its host, Michael Gibson. It's the end of the summer and we want to celebrate it in a bright and fun way. So our film crew is going to a large and popular ethnic festival, India Day, in Moscow. So off we go.
Today on the program, India Day in Moscow, how the Russian capital celebrated the brightest festival of the summer. An apple grove devoted to Russian-Indian friendship. An Indian wedding, aerial yoga, and Bollywood movies in the open air. The most colorful sights of the festival are on our program today.
This year, the festival takes place in one of the most interesting places in Moscow, in the huge amusement theme park called Dream Island. Today, everything here is dedicated to India, its ancient traditions and unique culture. The 7th annual India Day has already taken place in Moscow this year. In previous years, it was held in Sokolniki Park in northeast Moscow. This summer, the organizers moved the Muscovite Indian cultural meeting to the landscaped park Dream Islands, which opened in 2020.
We have been doing festivals the past 15 years actually. Just 7 years ago we decided that let's start an outdoor summer festival. And it started small, like 15,000 people. And as the years went, it started growing and people really liked the idea of summer open air festivals. And right now, actually in 2019, before the pandemic,
right,
we had 1.5 million actually.
Wow!
This year, it looks like even more than that. We're hoping for 2 million.
This year, the festival is dedicated to the 75th anniversary of Indian independence and the establishment of diplomatic ties with the Russian Federation. The event was opened by the Ambassador of India, Mr. Pavan Kapoor. So, Mr. Ambassador, can you tell us, what is it about this festival that now, going for 7 years, the Russians particularly love and keep on coming back to year after year?
Well, I think there's a traditional love that we share between our people, between the Russians and Indians. I mean, whether it's the food, it's the ability to find yourself through, meditation, through yoga, through Veda. So we are always trying to look at the wellness of people, and I think people have pretty hectic, stressful lives, so they always look for ways out of that. And this is something that provides it for them. And we are a decent-sized community, and we've known them for a long time. They speak a bit of our language, we speak a bit of theirs. So there's always a way to take this forward. And I think that's what is really keeping it going.
In honor of the 75th anniversary of India's independence, honored guests of the festival alongside the ambassador planted 75 apple trees in the landscape park Dream Islands. Big Asia TV, the channel where our program is broadcast, also took part in the creation of the Apple Tree Grove.
That's it. Here we go, all together, huh? Guys, come on up. This is our first tree.
So I've just planted my first tree.
Now we're going to water it a bit. Mike, I think this is a historic moment. This is the end of the next cycle of our program. And today, Big Asia TV has taken root in the best city in the world.
That's right. And what do you think will be here in 20 years?
We'll have to come and see.
This ornamental variety of apple trees is called the red obelisk. In spring, the gardens of these trees will turn pink, which is an unusual color for flowers on an apple tree. According to experts, for all seedlings to take root, they must be planted correctly.
It has a root cellar, like this. So if you cover it, it starts to rot here.
Understood.
And the tree dies because of this.
So this is an important moment.
Of course, if you put too much soil, or soil that's too crumbly, or put too much, then the layer is too thick. Then you have to plant the tree higher, because the soil breaks down over time and starts to sink.
After the official opening, the guests of the festival immediately immerse themselves in the atmosphere of the country of Bharat, as the Hindus themselves call their homeland, with its aromas of spices and incense, tastes of ripe mango and fresh chapati bread, traditional music, and dancing. Sami Katvani is the main organizer and ideological inspirer of this large-scale national festival in Moscow. More than 30 years of his life have been devoted to the friendship between Russia and India. Having received specialist training in textiles in Mumbai and London, Mr. Katvani came to Moscow with a dream: to open a family business here. Thus, Imperial Tailor, a tailoring company, appeared in the Russian capital. In addition, for more than 10 years, Sami has been the head of the Indian Business Alliance in Russia and the Indian National Cultural Centre, SITA.
All the bazaar people are happy.
Right.
That is first thing. It helps with our Indian tourism also. This brings more excitement in Russians to go to India.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So it's like more benefit to Russian Indian tourism in Russia also. And we have to show our place.
Right.
We are the true friends in the world history. There is no friendship like India and Russia. We are bilateral partners, we are the best friends, and the best friends should show their culture to each other.
Right. And do you feel culture is a good way to build relationships between nations?
There's the only way to build relationship is through culture.
Right.
So you have to be a very culture friendly to show each other our culture.
This year, the festival lasted for 4 days. The landscaped park is divided into several thematic zones. There are even entire shopping streets, and each has its own name. For example, Tar Street or Ganja Street. Ooh. I love Indian clothes. Oops, that's for women, but that looks great. National clothing, scarves, tea, cosmetics, spices. More than 120 companies brought their products from India to the festival. For example, this kind of handmade furniture can be found in every Indian home.
The wood that we use is Indian rosewood, it's
Right.
or shisham in our language. We call it shisham. And there's a really fine work of brass,
Right.
metal work.
Yes,
So that what they do is they carve really fine, and then they place brass metal with really fine craftsmanship.
Is it popular in Russia? Does it sell well?
I would say that it's really loved. Our experience for last many years that we have been importing this furniture from India. Our experience has been that yes, Russians really like it. It's really interesting because the colors, it's bright. It's not like regular, which is pale. Regular wood furniture is very pale, or I would say light brown. This here we have very bright colors, and really the brass and the metal gives it a shine.
What are your best sellers?
What are best sellers? Chests, of course, sanduk, people call it here, and screens or
Right.
shirma, as it's called here, and this chair, of course, this lovely chair, beautiful chair. I really love it, and yeah, so this is one of the best places to get pictures, I would say, here in this festival. And I think second after the Taj Mahal we have over there.
Right, okay. So it's also a good selfie station.
Yeah, good, excellent selfie station.
Excellent. The shopping street, Chakra Street, turns into an area with traditional Indian food. Here you can taste dishes from 30 restaurants with cuisines from different parts of India and learn how to make them in special master classes. Lyubov, could you tell me what's for lunch today?
Today we made Bombay potatoes, and as a sauce, a dressing for this dish, which complements it in flavor, is an apple and banana chutney.
You mean you have to take a little bit and mix it with a chutney like this, right?
Yeah, with the chutney, that's right. It's more harmonious that way.
I've got it right. Wow. This is really good.
Yes, I'm very pleased, because in Indian cuisine they use a lot of spices, a lot of seasonings, and they're not just added for individual taste. They all complement each other. You cook different dishes, and one dish also complements the other dish, and they combine together and sort of create that explosion of flavor.
Songs and dances followed the guests of the festival everywhere. During the 4 days, more than 500 artists performed on the main dance stage.
We have 3 areas. The main one is Bollywood, Indian dance, Russian gypsy dance, and Oriental dance.
I really like the details in the costume. I was wondering how important they are.
This is the traditional clothing of the state of Maharashtra, traditional pants. We just have a little stylization, but people still wear them in the Indian state.
Very beautiful. Isn't it hot? And especially with the turban.
No, it's not hot. On the contrary, it protects you and shields you from the sun.
The turban is one of the most famous and original sorts of Indian headgear.
It's made of cotton fabric or a very thin linen cloth. You need at least 6 meters of it. You can tell as much about a person from his turban as you can from his passport. That is, you can learn about the status of a man, about his marital status, about his position in society. The color of the turban also has a significant meaning.
What do you associate India with? For me personally, it is bright colors, spices, dancing, and of course, yoga. Here at the Vida Weekend site, anyone can take part in a yoga masterclass in the open air. As you can see, this is very popular, and I too want to have a go. So I'm off to get changed. Anastasia is a yoga master, and today she is my instructor. Hi.
Namaste.
Tell me, what are we going to do?
We're going to do yoga in hammocks. And now, we're going to set up a hammock for you.
The process of setting up the hammock takes a few minutes, but it is a crucial step for a successful and correct workout. The next step is a short warm-up.
Rub your palms together, place your thumbs against your solar plexus, and now hum the mantra Om and listen to your voice.
Now your presenter is ready for the class. This is my first experience practicing aerial yoga in hammocks, or anti-gravity, as it's also called.
Reaching up with your hands, just a little bit more. That's good. Grab the hammock. Now raise the toes of your right foot and straighten your right leg. Spin it up. Feel the weight on your feet.
Aerial yoga in hammocks is a relatively new and very popular sport. The fitness program combines asanas from yoga, exercises from Pilates, ballet, aerial gymnastics, and acrobatics. These classes help to improve participants' physical and mental health, boost their energy, and develop their coordination and balance.
Has the hammock been holding you up?
Yes, I believe so.
Excellent. There you go. That's good. Work the pelvis from left to right.
Hammocks for aerial yoga are sewn from a special fabric that can hold up to 500 pounds. It stretches well and doesn't cause irritation to the skin. It's just fantastic. I love it so much. It's definitely an adventure.
Tailbone back. Let's do it again. You got it? Hands forward. Come on. You got it?
Yes.
And lean down. Lean.
Lean.
Lean more. Down, 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 down.
During the India Day festival, it was not so easy getting the chance to train in the open air. There are a lot of people who wanted to try out the unusual sport.
On the count of 3, girls, boys, let's go. 1, 2, and 3.
Hi.
Good.
Woo! In the Vida Weekend Zone, guests of the festival can do more than practice yoga. Here on 5 pitches under large tents, they meditate, listen to lectures and consultations of famous astrologers and participate in various masterclasses and interactive games.
This is where our stage is. This is where Indian music concerts, dance master classes, vocal master classes, and excellent discussions take place. It's totally exclusive. We have 8 teachers of games, 20 hours of practice a day, and 2 premier games, Avatar and Leela, and Journey Yoga. Things are happening from the beginning to the end. All in all, we're in shock ourselves.
It was fantastic. I understand why people love it so much. It is really interesting. It's a total adventure.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes, okay. I guess it's obvious. Another of the festival's most popular venues is the Parachute Wedding Zone. This is the zone featuring traditional Indian weddings. A few days before the start of the India Day festival, the organizers announced the start of registration of couples wishing to strengthen their relationship and perform a wedding ceremony in the Indian tradition.
This is going everywhere. When we first time did it, there was only one couple because it was one day and one couple wanted to get married. But now this time when we opened on our website the wedding registration, we have to close in 4 days because we already got 30 registrations.
Right.
So physically we cannot make so many people get married.
Right, it's great. And it's full of blessing.
Russian like Indian wedding because they believe they can be with their partner for next 7 lives.
Right.
So that's the secret why they want to get married.
I've never been to an Indian wedding before in my life. It's very interesting. But let's watch the ceremony. According to tradition, a wedding in India begins at the bride's house with a ritual sobhodrishti. For this purpose, a tent is specially put up, which is decorated inside and outside with bright flowers. Our camera crew saw the wedding ceremony of 4 couples at once. Among them is the famous Russian rapper Alexander Stepanov, who performs under the pseudonym ST, and his wife, TV presenter and blogger Asol.
This is not our first wedding. The first one was in the Arctic Circle. We had a Georgian wedding, but we hadn't had an Indian wedding yet. So we thought we should do an Indian wedding. But the most important thing, I don't know if you know it or not, but it's Asol's birthday today. The most important thing is that you notice that love is the same everywhere. The important thing is 2 people and the love between them. In fact, many thanks to the organizers for providing us with the costumes. It's a delight and a beauty.
Will you have a honeymoon?
Of course we will. That's basically why we're getting married. For the sake of the first wedding night. To each his own. I'm all about the honeymoon. I'm all about the night.
That's great. What do you think of this festival, this Indian festival right here in Moscow?
It's really great. There are a lot of locations. There's a lot to find, learn, buy, and get to know. Lots of free stuff. It's very cool. And very nice people. They are very open, very accommodating, and very friendly to guests. I really like it. You can really touch their culture, not just from pictures or books or television. You can walk up, look, try it on, smell it, taste it.
Olga and Dmitry were also among the lucky ones. The couple was chosen by a random vote on the festival website. They decided to celebrate their wedding anniversary in such an unusual way. Officially, they have been married for 10 years.
I've always been interested in something oriental, something like this, a ceremony like this. And now our dream, as they say, has come true. For us, something so large-scale, interesting, informative, beautiful, a new culture. We've learned a lot. This is not our first time at this festival. Traditions, culture.
Did you choose your own clothes?
No, we didn't make them ourselves, but the clothes were made entirely for us. That is, we did the fitting, we came to the fitting, and then it turned out like this.
Yes, it's turned out really well.
Yes, thank you.
A real wedding.
Thank you very much.
Are you guys going on a honeymoon?
We're planning on it. Of course we are. My husband said it would be a surprise.
The highlight of the India Day Festival was the Ratha Yatra chariot procession. Now we see the procession of the Yatra chariots. This festival takes place every year all around the world. And during the festival, the guests are treated to a lot of delicious fruit. It's very, very beautiful. Ratha Yatra is one of the most important and oldest Hindu festivals. On this day, in huge chariots which resemble a temple, symbolic figures of three deities are carried through the main streets of the city: Jagannatha, Balarama, and Subhadra. Normally, these deities are worshipped inside the temple, but once a year, on the day of the Ratha Yatra festival, they are carried through the streets to be seen by all who wish to see them. Look, people are pulling it themselves. The procession is accompanied by songs and dancing. It's really something so wonderful. The chariot procession usually lasts several hours. This year in Moscow, thousands of festival guests gathered together to follow the chariot with the deities and thus touch the ancient traditions and customs of India.
There's so many emotions. They're overwhelming. I came at the very start. I've been waiting. There are mixed expectations, that excitement, that feeling of happiness, of joy. The crowd, everyone singing, dancing, and you just give in to that excitement. This procession, it's meant to help all the people on this planet, to make them feel good about being on this planet after all. Because birth on this planet is very rare, really. And many living beings who are above us, they stand in line to be born on this planet. And it is only from this planet that the soul that is in human body form has the opportunity to go back home to God. God only gives love to the world. He teaches love. So everyone who touches takes the rope and pulls it a little bit. He has already done even unknowingly service to the Lord of the universe.
Guests and organizers of the festival note that this year it was especially large-scale and eventful. Forecasts were justified. The festival was visited by about 2 million people.
New experiences, new emotions, and it's really interesting to interact with something new. I tried everything. I danced, ate, tasted the spices, smelled the spices, tasted the tea, learned everything. In fact, I know the culture, and I'm interested, even for future work. I think I'll need it in the long run. Now I'm waiting for my business partner. We liked everything. In these little tents, you can look around, smell everything, taste it, and the most important thing, the festive mood, music, positivity, everything is wonderful. It's our first day today. We haven't even had time to see everything because there are a lot of areas. Everywhere is interesting. There's music everywhere. It's a lot of fun and excitement. Indian culture is very close to us, though we have discovered it relatively recently. And we got to know it in more detail when we bought an Indian motorcycle. And we decided that if in this country they make such great equipment, and movies are so awesome, and of course, a country that has such gorgeous music and dance is a wonderful country.
As part of the evening program this year, festival organizers have prepared a special surprise for fans of Bollywood movies, an open-air cinema to view Indian films.
I really love the movies, especially Bollywood. They have their own energy and soul, and of course, a lot of dance and music. Today, we're watching the cult movie, Disco Dancer. It really is amazing. You've been watching the program Capital Ideas Live. And I'm Mike Gibson. See you and bye.